I'm Genesis Fisher. I'm a neutral at JAMS and also with JAMS Pathways. I started my career at the Southern Poverty Law Center doing civil rights work and work on jail atrocities in the South. And then I came back to New York and I worked as a public defender for a few years. I started to teach about 10 years ago and I love it. And I've been doing workplace dispute resolution for about 8 years. My mediation style focuses a lot on making sure the parties feel heard and being very patient and validating of their experience. Once we get through that, through their story, through the impact on other people in their lives, then we can get to some of the legal issues, right? But I think people have to be seen and heard and understood before we can get to that. I prepare for a mediation by spending a lot of time in pre-session discussions with the parties. Obviously, we talk about the legal issues, but I also want to know what are some challenges that they've had, what have been some barriers to settlement for them in the past, and what are some of the dynamics that I might expect in the room, both between the parties and also maybe between the parties and the attorneys. In terms of practice areas, I'm most interested in employment law. People spend more time at work than they do at home with their families most of the time. And so when there's tension in the office, it runs really deep. So with JAMS Pathways, we come into a dispute that is pre-litigation, pre-lawsuit, pre-all of that. We go in when there's a chance to heal relationships and to repair trust. And so typically what we do is a business or an organization or a school, a hospital will call us because there's some issues with their team. There's some issues with their leadership. And so what we do is we come in and depending on the circumstance, we create a very individualized approach for their specific needs that usually includes individual conversations, facilitated dialogues, trainings, all with the purpose of repairing relationships and making sure the organization is in a better place and that they can survive and thrive after we leave. In the work that I do, I see a lot of strong emotions and I welcome them because the emotions are there, whether or not they come out. And so if they come out to me, that signals that that person feels like they're in a safe environment and in a place where they can voice their concerns, voice their emotions, and then we can acknowledge them and explore them. But if they're not out there, then we can't. I think what makes me unique in my approach to ADR, I really explore the impact on not just that person, but on their community and the rest of their lives. There hasn't been an acknowledgement or validation that something that impacts me as a business owner might also impact my family, might also impact other people on my team and not just me. And so exploring that is something that I find people really appreciate.